he has shown his interest to work with the different groups, but not with the terrorists. It is our position also that we should not allow the terrorists who are active in Syria and in Iraq. In fact, they are the same. I mean, the Daesh is operating in Syria and Iraq, and there are also other terrorist organizations active in Syria. So, not negotiating with the terrorists is something that we also accept and we also support. But with the rest, I think there is only one way of arriving at the solution for the Syrian conflict, and that is for all conflicting parties to sit down and talk. As far as we are concerned, the Syrian government has also accepted this principle, and in fact, they were also present in the Moscow talks when Russians were trying to bring all the parties together in Moscow.
One quick question then. A Syrian Kurdish leader from the Kurdish PYD party was in Denmark recently and told Hassan that he saw a federal solution to the Syria problem. What are your answers to that?
It is not for Iran to or for any other country to decide about the future of Syria. You know, the Syrian people should be given the opportunity to decide about their future. We need a stable Syria. Syria is located in a very strategic area. Turmoil in Syria is the last thing that we need to see. But about the future of Syria, who should be their president, what type of government they should have, this is only for the Syrians to decide. What type of government, as I said, this is not for Iran or any other country to talk about. This is purely an internal affair of the Syrian people.
I would like to go back to the nuclear talks. One, you wouldn't specify what you agree on and where you disagree. But it seems to me that the capacity of the enrichment capacity is one of the outstanding issues. As far as I know, the U.S. wants, they demand that there will be a so-called breakout time, the time where Iran has, if it wants to produce a nuclear weapon, it has to be 12 months. Is that acceptable to you?
As I said, I'm not going to negotiate through the media. But what I can tell you is that based on the joint plan of action that we accepted in Geneva in November 2013, we are ready to accept some limitations on our peaceful nuclear activities during the time that both of us will agree. Enrichment is an important element within this package of peaceful nuclear activities. We have lots of issues in the Iranian nuclear program. For instance, heavy water reactor in Iraq, Fordo facility, enrichment facility. We have transparency measures. There are a number of issues which are to be concluded within this P5+1 countries. But as far as enrichment is concerned, this is an important element. We have agreed not to enrich more than 5% during that period, the comprehensive agreement period. But About the details, I cannot talk about it in this forum. But what I can tell you is that we do not recognize the concept of a breakout because we don't think that Iran's peaceful program is anything related to weapons program. Iran has no intention to go towards nuclear weapons. It has no place in Iran's defensive doctrine to go for the nuclear weapons. We have a religious edict by the supreme leader, religious fatwa, prohibiting nuclear weapons. Therefore, our program is entirely peaceful, and we have said that we are prepared to provide assurances to our partners and to the whole world that Iran's program is peaceful because we do not have anything to hide. And we are in the midst of the negotiations, and we need to focus on the issues, and that is why I cannot share the detail of the negotiations with you and anybody else.
On the question of terrorism, I want to ask about the question of financing the terrorism. In the United States, there are a group of congressmen who have been calling for releasing the 28 pages of the Congress's report after the September 11th attacks, which was revealing information about organizing and financing of terrorism, which would point also at Saudi Arabia. But the question I have for you is, there's one thing about the terrorists who are actually pulling the trigger, but what do you think needs to be done to prevent the financing of the terrorism from different areas in the world, different countries?
Yeah, it's a really great challenge that all of us face. As you know, there are attempts by different individuals and countries to continue supporting financially the terrorists who are active in Syria and Iraq. There are resolutions adopted by the UN Security Council demanding countries and individuals not to provide financial support to terrorists, but unfortunately this channel of sending money to individuals are still going on. And I think the Security Council has the responsibility to honor its resolutions, the provisions of a number of resolutions which have called for the cessation of funding to the terrorists should be observed, and they should. The Security Council should devise mechanisms to prevent the occurrence of this money being transferred to the terrorists. As long as these fundings are going on, I'm afraid that the terrorists will continue to inflict casualties on innocent people inside Iraq, inside Syria, in Europe, and in other places. If they are not denied such an access, we cannot claim that we are sincere in our efforts to fight the terrorists by all means available to us. And as I said, there is a legal responsibility on the parts of the members of the Security Council, particularly the permanent members, to honor their undertakings, which are stipulated in the Security Council resolutions, to prevent the transfer of money being made towards the terrorists in Syria and Iraq.
Okay, thank you very much all. Thank you, Minister, for your answering the questions, and thank you, members of the media, for your questions, and thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you on another occasion in the future. Thank you again. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to have this opportunity, and I hope to see you in Tehran. If you wish to come to Tehran, please feel free. Our embassy is ready to issue visas for you and to have a good program for you in Iran. Thank you very much. Thank you.